Hi, do you want to lead your team more effectively? Do you want to lead your virtual team or remote working teams more effectively? If yes, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Dickson, and today in this video I'm going to share with you 2 tips that you can lead your virtual teams or remote teams more effectively. Now, why understanding this is important? Because increasingly people are working remotely and increasingly people are working virtually or work from home. So you need to know how to lead more effectively in this context. So what are the 2 specific tips I'm going to share with you today? Let me walk you through one by one. The first tip is you need to recognize that virtual teams or remote team is the norm, and you have to shift from a location specific leadership to virtual or remote leadership. So what does that mean? That means you have to be very comfortable leading a virtual team or remote team. I give you an analogy. In the past, when you have a work document or like spreadsheet, you will save this document into your computer, into your desktop computer or laptop computer. But nowadays, increasingly, you are saving the same document onto a drive, onto a cloud drive, onto a Dropbox, and so on and so forth. Right? So that is the exact same shift you need to make, is to move from location specific leadership to a virtual remote leadership. A lot of times people say, oh, I only feel I'm like a leader when I'm in the office, when I'm in the workplace. Actually, that's not true. Right? Increasingly, you need to be very comfortable by leading your team virtually, regardless of your location. Whether you're in the office or outside the office, you need to know how to lead effectively as a leader virtually and remotely. So that's the first tip I need to share with you. You need to change your mindset. You need to move from location-specific leadership to virtual remote leadership. So that's tip number 1. What is tip number 2? Right? Tip number 2 is about using a mixture of communication tools, right, to help you lead more effectively virtually or remotely. Specifically, there are 2 types of communication tool. One is called asynchronous communication tool. The other one is synchronous communication tool. So you need to be very comfortable in communicating using both types of tools. So let me go through it. Number 1, about this asynchronous communication tool. So what does that mean? That means this is a tool that you can communicate to the other party, and then the other party can pick it up later. They don't need to interact and pick it up simultaneously. Asynchronous communication tool will be something like email or message. So you just send out a message, send out email, and then people can pick it up later. So this is specifically useful if your task is well defined. You have some specific task you want to communicate to other person. So for example, you need some person A to approve marketing budget, or to change the color of a logo, or things like that. So something very specific. So it will be good if you use this asynchronous communication tool. And other communication tool is what we call the synchronous communication tool. Synchronous communication tool will be something like a web meeting, a virtual meeting. Everybody log in at the same time, and then you do a brainstorming, you do some sharing, you are solving the problem together. Everybody need to be in the same virtual space at the same time. So that is the synchronous communication tool. So as a leader, you need to know how to make use of both tools and to use both tools to your advantage. So for example, if you are managing a global team, right, having multiple time zones, sometimes you may want to use a synchronous communication tool, right, so that you can take advantage of this time zone benefit. So for example, if I'm based in Singapore, I can send an email, right, to someone to US, so that when I'm sleeping, my US team can pick up the task and continue work on the same project. Right? So that's the asynchronous communication tool. On the other hand, if you want everybody to be on the same page to share ideas, to solve a problem, to work very collaboratively for a short session. Right? So you may want to set up a synchronous communication web conference. Okay, so this is the second tips I would like to share with you. You need to know how to use a mixture of communication tools, be it asynchronous or synchronous. So to recap, right, what are the two things you need to know if you want to lead your virtual team, remote team, or your work from home teams more effectively? Number one, you need to recognize that you need to move away from location specific to virtual remote leadership. And secondly, you need to know how to use a mixture of communication tools, be it synchronous or asynchronous. So I hope this video sharing is something useful to you. If you like this video, make sure you share with your friends and colleagues. Once again, this is Dickson. Embrace leadership, embrace virtual and remote leadership. Cheers.